This is the longboard performance. So this is our performance longboard. I've been making these forever. The help of Eric Guinness, Rip and longboarder. He no longer rides anything like this. He's into his logs. But this board, when we first started making it for him, he was really into his performance longboarding, and you know, he's busting airs on them. And I have other guys that surf it in bigger waves, and it has a lot of hold because it's a little narrower in the tail, and they're getting big barrels. And the board actually rips. I make it a lot thinner. It's almost like a normal shortboard. We can go as low as 2.5 sometimes on these boards, where most longboards are at least 3. So you thin it out, and I thin the rails out a lot. So it's going to have a lot of bite and hold and feel more like a shortboard. The tail outline is exactly like a shortboard. I put it with a swallowtail or a rounded pin. Swallowtail makes it a little bit freer, feel like a shortboard turning, but it has a little bit of hold with the swallow. The noses I keep pretty wide. We still want to get on the nose on this and hang 10 and be a nose rider. There's a lot that goes into this board. Eric came to me and he was like telling me how wonderful it was, and I thought he was just tooting my horn and making me feel good. And then I actually saw him in the water, and it was a really fun waist chest high day, really lined up. And he's like, you gotta take it out, you gotta take it out. And I took it out, and literally on one wave, I felt everything that the board could do, and I was amazed at how well it worked. I was able to get on the nose. I do a deep concave in the nose, so you can still get on it and nose ride. It's really wide in the front. One reason why it nose rides and holds really well, I keep the nose really thin in the rail so that it has a lot of bite into the rail and will hold, and then the more hold, the more you can get up there and really hang out, hang heels, whatever. And then it goes into a nice flat into V. So the V comes up almost, I start the V almost from the mid, and I pull it down, and then when you get into the fins, I put a double. So the V is going to make it so it goes rail to rail really easy, so it's going to make it real performance-y feeling. And then the double is going to give it squirt, so that when I'm coming off the bottom, it doesn't feel like a regular longboard and you're just throwing it up. You actually get the squirt, and that's where like Eric used to do airs on them and stuff. This just makes it a faster, more responsive board. And I've been making these, the quads. I was making them, the quad longboards, even in Hawaii back in the day for the points. It just really gets a lot of hold and a lot of drive. So this board definitely squeaks along. It definitely projects a lot faster than if you're riding a 2+1. Feels more shortboard characteristics than you would ever imagine. And like I said, the one thing about these boards, the performance, is the rails are so thin, it just makes the board bite really hard, and that translates into the nose too, where you get the rail in the water so nice and tight that the water flows over and it makes it real stable. So it makes it a good nose rider, where most people want a lot thicker rail to get on the nose thinking they need all that volume, but for actual hold into the wave, the thinner the rail, it pinches in. But this is the performance longboard.